Greetings.
Greetings.
Welcome to Film Gazers, a podcast focusing on the science fiction, horror, fantasy trinity, and 20th century entertainment. I'm Steph.
I'm Jess. We're cousins slash besties. Join us as we reminisce, discuss, and review films from our childhood.
We're
We're
back.
back. Not to be
So,
creepy.
and I was trying to be creepy.
You
Meowdy.
succeeded. Meowdy.
So, as we've clearly stated, we are back from our June summer vacation that we took. You were graced with a wonderful story time brought to you by
Yeah.
Jessica,
Thank you.
and I lollygagged around enough to where I made mine release beginning of this month. Sorry about that.
It was still hilarious, I thought. I
Some of
was
the stuff.
crying in my car listening to it.
And I will say there was the one where I'm talking about how I couldn't stop laughing. I edited that, by the way. That was still an edited blooper because it was so
So
long.
long.
Like it was actually like 8 minutes long, like from total, like start to finish. And I
I
like
mean, I remember that
basically
day,
took the
so
funny parts out.
it was a good day.
We're back, and Jessica's really been putting in the work because while I was on my summer vacation, we were busy getting ready for an event and everything, and it was just kind of balls to the wall. And it's also my busy season in my actual like day job and stuff too. So again, really appreciate you stepping up for the
No
podcast.
problem. It was amazing that you can actually learn something new when you're old.
I told you.
I thought it
Uh,
was far beyond my realm, but I did it.
y'all,
So,
she's
and
been
it,
killing it with helping with the social meds.
considering how what I came from, which was nothing.
Started from the bottom, now you're
And
here.
now I'm here. But it's been fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Learning things. Who knew?
Yay, fun.
That's
So
like even side note, even yesterday, I was like, oh, I don't want to go. I just want to stay home and play on my computer.
oh, I love that
Like,
feeling when you get
I
like,
know when you have something
yeah.
new and you're like,
I want to immerse myself completely in it.
exactly, until I get so sick of this that I have run out of ideas.
Exactly.
And then I
That's
go
ex-
into a funk for a couple of weeks until I think of
that
new ideas.
that is why I was coming up with like original memes for our episodes on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. Like for every episode, I was trying to do it. And it got so to the point where then I was like so into it and I loved making them. And I like, boom, they're just coming to me left and right.
Yeah, and you're like, that's so
And,
funny.
and then I mean, they weren't even that funny, but I thought they were funny. and but then it's like, yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sick of doing this now. And then it felt like a chore, and then they started
And then
getting
you didn't
worse
want to
and
do it
worse.
anymore.
Yeah, and then I literally quit doing it. I was like, abandon all hope, ye who enter.
Enter here. It's as soon as it becomes work, then I don't want to do it anymore.
Exactly. I'm like, this is no longer enjoyable.
Yeah,
It
it's no
feels
longer
like an
fun for me.
obligation. But we're gonna bring in July with summer slashers.
Which I kind of forgot that I Know What You Did Last Summer takes place on July 4th.
I was gonna ask you that if that was like what initially made you think of it, or if it was yeah the other way around.
It
Because
did not. I don't remember why I thought of it. I guess because it was summer. Duh.
I know I totally forgot that it was also on the 4th of July, and then I watched it and I was like, oh my God,
How
perfect,
appropriate.
because I literally watched it the night before.
I
Like,
watched it on the 4th of July.
nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, at like
Wait,
10 a.m.
yeah, no, I watched it on July 3rd. Yeah.
I had to squeeze it in there.
So
Had to
yeah, good
watch it in the
choice with
morning because
that.
I had shit to do in the afternoon. Plans were made.
Don't
That's
get me started.
coffee. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Eating the peanut butter toast.
Oh Lord. And then you also are you picked out for the summer slashers Final Girls. Was there a reason behind that? I haven't seen that one actually, so I thought that was kind of a good pick.
Up and I was searching for summer slasher movies, like movies that took like horror movies that took place in the summer, and it was one of the ones that popped up.
Oh, cool.
And then
cool,
I think it's actually the more because I didn't know anything about it. Like I barely saw something about it and then forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's, I don't know if it's like full satire, but I think it's like kind of comedic too.
Okay, yeah, because I just remember the movie cover. Like I remember the movie poster like stuck out to me. And I remember when it was coming out, I think around the time. But like I said, there was that really big period of my life where I kind of like movies were on my radar, but then I never saw them.
Right. Because we were just busy during that time.
I was just really, really poor too. Like, you know, I didn't have money to go to the movies or like certain things weren't streaming yet, even 10 years ago, you know, like
right.
so.
You want to have to wait for a DVD to come in the mail.
So yeah, so I thought those were some good picks. And then
thank you.
Jessica also came up with for August. Not only is it her birthday month, but it is also Leo season.
Yeah.
Who else then? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Exactly. Who else would you tie that with?
A little from his little filmography there. Have you 100% picked yours yet, or are you gonna wait to announce on next episode?
Let's wait. Now give me a little time to think about it.
Yeah, I'm still stewing. I'm still
me too. because funny side note, when I was listening to your blooper reel in the car for the first time, and you had said, and Jess picked out a really good theme for August, and I was like, did I? I did. I was like, I got no memory of that. I had to go home and look at my notebook to see what I wrote down.
Hilarious.
It's pretty bad.
I did.
I know it's between two. I know that.
Sweet. Yeah. I'm still boiling it over a little bit. All right. So what else have you been watching, doing on your hiatus?
I've been watching a lot, actually. So I'm going to tell the funny story about when I was at your house. We were getting ready for Hippie Fest. Okay. And I was helping her, with like some magnets that she was making. And on Netflix, when she turned it on, she turned to me and she said, "Continue watching Monk," the TV show Monk. And I looked at her and was like, "How did you know that's what I'm watching? I didn't tell you that." Because we both had started watching Monk at the same time.
Oh my, we did not know either person had never watched it or anything about it. Like literally, you were already started a little sooner than me, but I was already like 2 weeks, maybe a week or so in. And I think you were like 2 weeks ahead of me or something. So it was
so
crazy.
Funny. I was like, what? I know that.
I was like, how are we both watching this like old lady, like mid 2000s, like detective show?
And it's so, but I'm like, I love it.
I'm like, it's kind of like a slightly cringy, funny Matlock. And that's what I like about it.
And Tony Shalhoub is, he's fantastic.
Oh my God, though. He is such a dick.
But I can totally relate to him.
Like some of the stuff though, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, boy, I would slap you.
Some of it, but then some of it I'm like, I totally get it.
I just think it's so funny that we've both been watching that.
Well, and then they came out with a movie, like a newer movie on,
oh God,
I think it's on Netflix.
Nice. You watched that too?
So I was waiting till I finished, the show. And then I was like, maybe we can do the movie for the podcast.
Yes, we should.
Or at least a mini-sode,
Oh, we definitely should. Yes.
I was like, that would be fun.
Oh my God, we could do a Tony Shalhoub month and do the Monk movie and 13
Ghosts. Yeah. I know. I totally forgot he was in that until I was looking up his filmography the other day, and I was like, 13 Ghosts.
I mean, he plays like a widower left and right. He has no, that's his
That's his
character.
character. Sad widow.
Sad widower.
Oh, funny.
So other than Monk, what you been
Um,
watching?
I watched the newest season of Queer Eye, and then I went back and
Nice.
rewatched a lot of the seasons. That made me feel a lot better. I was in a funk, like the beginning of the month, so that helped me out.
Nice.
Me and
They always are very
Yes, it is.
heartwarming.
It's very wholesome content. And then I get some like beauty tips that make me feel like, okay, I want to get back into that again. I can take care of myself again. Let's get up. And then me and my mom watched quite a few things actually in the month of June. We watched Baby Reindeer.
Oh,
We
nice.
watched Bridgerton, part 1 and 2 of the new
Oh,
season.
scandalous.
Scandal. And it was saucy this season.
Oh,
This one
saucy.
saucy. And it was with oh my gosh, I just forgot her name in real life, but Penelope is her name on the show. She's the one that was in
Mm.
Dairy Girls. She
Oh,
was
okay.
blonde
Yeah,
in
she's
Dairy
like the
Girls.
lead
Yeah,
this
she's
year.
the
I've
lead
been
this
seeing all the
season.
articles. I have not watched
It's
Bridgerton.
not, it would not be for you. I know you don't like Pride and Prejudice or anything like that.
No, I've never been big on that
And
era
I
of
love that kind of stuff. I'm a romantic at heart. I can't help it. I pretend not to be, but here we are.
Here we are,
Yeah. But this
Bridgerton.
is like it's pretty saucy and
Oh, a little
it's a little
spicy.
spicy. And just, like I said, watching it with my mom. And there's this one part where her and her one guy were
Hmm.
getting it on. And it was so like intimate.
Oh
And I looked over
no.
at my mom and I was like, it's like we're really there, huh? She was like, ugh.
You boy.
I feel like I'm sitting on the chair in the
On the
corner, like,
bedpost.
ooh.
That's hilarious.
So funny. And then actually, just recently, I think like a couple days after it came out, we watched A Family Affair on Netflix.
Yes, I've seen the trailer for
It
it.
is very
Uh
typical, totally relatable with these mansions that these people live in. It's a
yeah.
very stereotypical white people movie, like Nancy Myers.
Yeah, then yeah, exactly. Like Knights and Rodancy. That's what I think of when you say like that kind of movie. I know exactly the movie you're referring to, and
I was
that's the
thinking
movie.
more of like, um, it's complicated or like.
Oh. No, it's Knights and Rodancy. It's gotta be.
That's just not the first one that would pop in my mind.
I found that movie so
Nice and
insufferable. I know. I don't know how
insufferable.
it's supposed
Yes,
to be
that's so
pronounced,
funny.
but I feel like it has to be Rodante.
I mean, that sounds like what I remember them saying it like. But yeah, it
Oh
was all
man.
right. The one thing about it though, even Dave noticed just like walking by, the filter that they put on just Nicole Kidman, it was like that
Oh, messed
it was like
up.
the RuPaul like season 1 filter.
Oh, that's messed
Yeah,
up.
it was.
They did her dirty.
And I was kind of like, huh? I feel like that's insulting. And Dave's like, yeah, that's insulting. I was like, unless she wanted it. Then I'm like, okay, well, I get it. Maybe she
Yeah,
wanted that Vaseline filter on.
possibly.
I was like, if she didn't
It's
want it,
odd.
it's
Yeah.
insulting. If she did want it, that's none of my business.
Then good. I'm glad no one's insulting you. We can just move
Exactly.
on
If you
from
wanted
this
it, that's
from this
fine.
now.
But if you didn't want it, then how dare you? She's not allowed to age. She looked fabulous though. She
Yeah.
still looked damn good. She's like 50, I think, or in her 50s.
She has to be older than that, right?
Oh, or maybe she was almost 60. Yeah, because damn, I'm 40.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I don't think
Yeah,
because I mean
because she was in movies when I was a child.
like in the 80s. Yeah, right.
Well, she looked like she was probably 52 to me. Let's see how old she is.
Oh, okay.
She's
Oh, well then, yeah. Well then she
she's
doesn't look old at
57.
all. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. See that just sounds more. Yeah, that
Those
sounds
5 years make a difference.
about right with her. Yeah, yeah. They really do for everybody. I feel
It's
like.
crazy because 5 years is not very long.
I feel like that's like the late stage puberty, like death
Well,
puberty.
your cells are dying.
Yeah, 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 that's true.
Every
Let's
seven
just really
years.
bring this episode down. Let's just bring it
It's
down.
summer. It's our seasonal depression.
That's true.
Anyways.
Um, I haven't been, yeah, because I was busy during the month with my other shit. I pretty much was watching Monk. Like I'm still into it. I'm just basically got to where Sharona left.
Okay. Did that take you by surprise
Yeah,
like
like
it took
season
me?
3. Andrew warned
Oh,
me
okay.
ahead of time. And because he was like, hey, don't get too attached to her. And then I was
How
kind of
dare you?
like, and I was like, why? And then he was like, oh, she leaves like third season. I was like, oh shit.
Do you know who that
Um,
is though, Sharona?
she always looks
She
familiar,
was in
but I
A
can't
League
place
of Their
her.
Own. She was
Oh yeah, that's
There's
right.
No
She
Crying
was the
in
mom.
Baseball. Yeah, he said it to
Yeah.
her.
That is
Yeah,
crazy.
I thought so too. I was like, oh my gosh, it didn't even look like the same person at that point.
Yeah, he told me it was like a contract dispute. Like she wanted more money and they were like, no. And I guess they just fired her.
Damn.
I know. I was like,
They're
oh, that's
like,
fucked
we'll
up.
replace you with two guys, a girl, and a pizza.
Oh, that's what she was
That's
in.
that girl,
I was like, why
yeah.
do I know her so?
That's funny.
So other than that, we started The Bear, which we had
Okay.
both been wanting to watch. Super good so far. It's like sitcom length, like it's not a hour long show or anything. But yeah, so it's basically like a cooking drama, I guess. Yeah. But still like a comedy, like slice of life
Mm.
almost. Yeah, it's been good so far. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, then you can probably appreciate it. If you haven't, you'd probably still be drawn, into it. It's interesting enough. And then we played a little we started some Super Mario World. Uh, like the Super Nintendo
Nice.
one.
Nice. That sounds
So
fun.
that's been fun. Yeah, yeah, because that was one that I never owned growing up.
Which is it, the
So yeah.
64 version or?
No, like I said, the Super
Oh, okay.
Nintendo one,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. Yeah, not the 3D. That's Super Mario World or 3D or
Mm.
something. This is or is it New Super Mario? I don't even know now, dude. It's the one with the feather.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one's fun. Yeah, I played that one a
But
lot.
not,
That used to
yeah,
be
yeah,
my
not
favorite.
not the NES one with the feather, but the other one. And then it introduced the one that introduced Yoshi.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, yeah, I played it at your house a lot. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was. Yeah, because that's what I told Andrew. I was like, I only played this game when I was at Jess's house, so I've never like fully like played it all the
Immersed
way.
yourself in it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
fun.
it's been fun playing with him. Yeah, we're going back and forth. I'm getting better as I'm going. I was always really bad with Yoshi. So, and we did Yoshi's World. That was super hard for me.
Well, I used to play the game just like going around with Yoshi like he was my pet.
Yeah. There you go.
Like, come on, Yoshi, we're gonna go over here now.
Yeah, you having adventures. You're making an
I was
RPG
making
over
my own
there.
RPG within the game.
Oh, that's
Because I
great.
had a little
So
map.
yeah. So yeah, that's been fun getting into that. So, but other than that, yeah, it's just been a lot of, kind of work, a little bit of free time we got, just chilling.
I did get to go to the beach twice in the month of June.
Ooh,
By myself, no
fancy.
less. Both times
Oh my
in the
God.
morning, though. Yeah, it
Amazing.
was actually pretty nice, but it was, hot as balls.
Oh my God. It's been
Yeah.
miserable.
And the humidity. So imagine walking outside in a hot, wet blanket.
It really is. No, because I work on the
Suffocating.
beach. And it was the other day, and it had just rained too. And then the sun was out, and the heat index was 100 and like
And then the
4.
roads are steaming because of the
And then
rain.
everything was steamy. And then you walked outside, and it was like you were literally walking into a steam room in a gym, like full on.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
Disgusting.
like you can't breathe. You're drowning. It's awful.
Yep.
I got insanely sick after I did that festival that I worked.
Hmm.
It was awful. I threw my guts up from just getting too hot. And I was like stayed hydrated. I think I overhydrated was my problem.
Mm. I
And
mean,
I got myself
I
sick.
wasn't even there that long, and I got like a sun headache.
Yeah, it was intense. So anyway, in this episode, we watched 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer. It was directed by Jim Gillespie, the screenplay by the Kevin Williamson of Scream fame.
Mm.
It was based on a novel called I Know What You Did Last Summer by Lois Duncan. It was produced by Neil Moritz, Eric Feig, and Stokely Chapin. It's starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Felipe, Freddie Prinze Jr., Johnny Galecki, Bridget Wilson. Cinematography by Dennis Crossan. Edited by Steve Merkovich. Music by John Debney. The release date, though, get this, was October 17th, 1997.
Okay.
Which I thought it was funny that it was a horror movie, but it was based around the 4th of July. Because this really feels like
Oh,
it could have been like a summer
yeah.
slasher actually like released during the summer too. But I believe I think what summer movies, I think it has to be really good to like get box office
Right in
numbers
the
during the
summer.
summer.
That's always
So
summer
yeah, it's
blockbusters.
probably
So,
exactly. So it does a running time of 101 minutes. The budget was 17 million and the box office was 125 million.
oh,
So did pretty
yeah,
well.
not bad. I mean, I had a A-list cast for 97.
For that, yeah. For 97. So as mentioned, the novel was the movie was loosely based on the novel. But the author, she passed away in 2016 at the age of 82. She was not a fan. In a 2002 interview, she said that she was appalled by the decision to turn her book into a slasher movie. That's not what the book was about, like not being it wasn't a slasher at all.
Oh.
Her distaste for the film also stems from the fact that her own daughter Kate had been murdered in 1989.
Oh,
And
tasteless.
she was quoted as saying, as the mother of a murdered child, I don't find violent death something to squeal and giggle about. So I figured that would be the first fun fact, just to get that out there that
Damn.
the author fucking hated it. And for very good
Yeah, that's
reason.
crazy.
Um, yeah. So the film also draws inspiration from urban legend, the main one, The Hook. We
Right.
all know, variation of the Hook urban legend. And also 80s slasher films Prom Night and The House on Sorority Row.
Okay.
So the antagonist was inspired by screenwriter Kevin Williamson's own family background. He has been quoted to say, "Everyone in my family is a fisherman except me." And so I utilized the little old hook that I've been seeing on the back of the hit fish house all of my life. So that was kind of his personal tie-in and how he started making it differ, vastly from the book.
From the book.
The book. In a making of documentary by Sony Pictures, Jennifer Love Hewitt reveals that she was originally considered for the role of Helen before she landed the lead role of Julie James.
Good for you,
Director
J.Love.
Jim. That's what I called her in all of
Me
my
too.
notes.
That's
That's
what they
hilarious.
called her in the magazines back then.
Yeah. So the director, Jim Gillespie, was in an article from Digital Spy saying that no one else wanted Freddie Prinze for the film because they thought he looked too soft and that he wasn't muscular enough.
He does look a
Which
little
just
rubbery, I guess.
I guess for lack of a better word.
um,
So he auditioned multiple times, and then he had like cut his hair. He bulked. That was him bulking himself up a little bit, and he was finally given the part. Ryan Felipe, he was dating Reese Witherspoon, so it was actually her who had kind of got him the role because she auditioned, ultimately opted out, and then just recommended him for one of the male characters, and they did. Just another fun fact, Sarah Michelle and Freddie didn't start dating until 2 years after the filming of
Oh,
this.
okay. I guess I thought it
And
was.
they're still married.
I just
They've
saw
been married
that.
over 20 something
22
years.
years
I
it
was like, good
said.
for them,
Yeah,
man.
that's awesome.
Yeah, good for
For
them.
celebrities?
Uh, yeah, especially like at that young of an age
And
too,
they
you
were
know?
pretty like famous, like they were all
Yeah,
hip
yeah,
people of the
definitely.
90s.
Absolutely. Melissa Joan Hart was also one of the people that was like on the list of people for the cast. But she did turn it down because she thought it was just a rip off of Scream.
Well, I mean,
She's not wrong.
yeah, it had its own.
But funnily enough, I believe he actually wrote this like before Scream or something.
Oh, okay.
So
He,
maybe not. Don't quote me on that because I don't have that in my notes so far.
then he got the hang of it by Scream.
So the director didn't want to make this movie too graphic. But the producers wanted like a totally different, like slightly gorier approach. So they did have to redo Helen's sister, Elsa, the throat cut scene. They had to make that bloodier.
Hmm.
Um, but that's how he kind of compromised, was it's shown, but not like fully. He does this little leading shots, and your
Right.
mind can like make up the rest. So for the scene on the boat, near the end, Jennifer Love Hewitt is wearing a sweater half the time, and then just a tank top underneath during the rest of it. And so there was a continuity problem when they were filming all of this, right? Things got kind of jumbled up.
Right.
And so they're like, oh shit. And
She's
so
wearing a
they had to
sweater. She's not
build
supposed
all
to.
so they built a whole new set. So when they do the boats inner chamber stuff and they like film that thing where she's like taking it off and using
Yeah.
it as leverage for the door, that was literally for that reason. They literally filmed all of that to
Okay,
explain.
that makes a lot of sense then. Because I was like, why the fuck? And then use that
It
stupid
was
little sweater.
little sweater.
Yeah, that would work.
Okay. So for the most iconic part of this movie, we all know is the what
Wait,
for?
you're cut out.
Oh, what are you waiting
Yeah,
for? It cut you out too.
Oh, man.
Won't let us go above the
I
decibel
can't
level.
hear it. It's like dog level.
Yeah. What are you
For?
waiting for? So that whole meltdown was the brainchild of someone who won a contest, basically. There was a kid who won something from I don't know, some contest they had where it was to create a moment for the movie. And so he wanted her to stand on the street and turn around and just scream, "What are you waiting for?" And Jennifer Love Hewitt was like, "Are you kidding me?" And she was like, "But then we were doing it and it was amazing and it looked cool. And now everybody loves it."
Everybody
Like
loves
everybody,
it.
yeah. I was like, well, everybody loves to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like it is the iconic part of the movie, though. And she says people still like yell the line at her during Halloween, and she loves it. Like she loves that they do it, which I think is cool on her
She
part
seems
too,
like she's
though.
pretty down to earth in real life.
Yeah, she does seem like that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that part is still, I mean, was still hilarious.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's because it was like just an average person. Like they won a contest and that was thrown in there.
Right.
That's great. So the director hated the original ending. It was basically just Julie getting an email that said, "I still know." And he was like, So he told Digital Spy that he shot the sequence in as boring a manner as he possibly could because he did not want them to use it. So it worked. And then we got that other really cheesy and awful ending.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
was
what did
like,
they not want this? They signed, he did it terrible, so who couldn't record what?
the original ending was just her getting an email that said, I still
Oh,
know. And
okay.
he said he shot the scene, I guess, of her reading this email, like just really terrible and boring. So that way he could get away with presenting the
The
shower
jump
scene.
scare. Okay.
Where
Yeah,
it's
that was
like,
dumb.
and let's make her boobs like just really bounce and be as pressed together as much as possible in this towel.
She's wearing a push-up bra underneath her
I know,
towel.
yeah.
You can ravage this later.
It's like,
I think that's exactly
oh.
what she said.
Oh man.
Oh Lord. Even though at the beginning of the movie she was talking about being like, it's sexist enough over here. Or whatever she said when they're up in the balcony.
Yeah. No, so and the last fact that I found interesting about this movie was that it was done in a very quick time. They began filming on March 31st, 1997, did it for 10 weeks, and it was opened in cinemas October 17th. Like that was
Wow.
a turnaround of 6.5 months.
And the money they made on it in that short
Yeah,
amount of time. That's
that's
crazy.
crazy, right? Yeah. I got most of those from sci-fi.com and screenrant.com. So with that, Jess is going to take it away with the you Googled summary.
A year after running over a fisherman and dumping his body in the water, four friends reconvene with Julie, receives a frightening letter telling her that her crime was seen. While pursuing who he thinks is responsible for the letter, Barry is run over by a man with a meat hook. The bloodletting only increases from there as the killer with the hook continues to stalk Julie, Helen, and Ray.
So when was the last time you watched this one?
I actually just watched it last year. I don't remember if it was like for Halloween. I think it was around Halloween time.
Nice, nice. Oh, I think I remember you telling me that maybe. There's probably actual like audio somewhere on the podcast of you talking about
That about watching it, perhaps.
It's funny. I also watched it a couple of years ago as well. I want to say I was still in this house though, I think when I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. So yeah, within the last like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that's when I was like, oh my God, it's terrible.
yeah, exactly. Well, I have to say it's funny because my opinions changed like multiple times now. When I went in,
I think it's not that bad this time.
yes, I went from watching it and going like, this was so bad. Like,
Yeah.
and
So this time I was like, I don't know, it's so
I
bad.
thought it was like extra convoluted and like all this stuff. And yeah, and then I watched it like just a couple of days ago and I was like, oh, this makes more sense this time around. And I don't know why.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe it's because I wasn't like fully invested in watching it the last time I watched it.
I feel
I don't
like I
know.
think I was very inebriated too the last time I watched it.
Well,
That might
I could be.
that might also
Explains a
contribute.
lot.
It would. So yeah, and then my memories before that were watching it a lot when I was probably in like middle school. Like this was
Hmm.
one of those horror movies for me that I did see quite a bit during my early teenage years. Obviously. I mean, like you said, like look at all the celebrity cast.
Right. I still this time like J.Love's fashion in this movie I loved. I was like, this is exactly like what I used to wear.
It is that little sweater combo set.
Yes. And her over like bell bottom overalls, I was like adorable. I was like, I love how she is like so distraught she can't even wash her bangs. But she can put on layered jewelry. And like bell bottom overalls. I'm like, I see you, girl. You ain't that depressed.
Just wash your bangs.
Those were the worst bangs I think I've ever seen in my life. All 5 of them.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. Do you have any films from around when it or films? Do you have any
Memories.
do you have any memories from when around it first came out?
I really remember Scary Movie making fun of that
I
scene.
was gonna say that is a big chunk of some of my memory of that too, because the scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I always get the one in Scary Movie. That one to me is far more memorable in the
Yes.
he's killing him scene or whatever.
Right,
Simply
right.
for the reason that in Scary Movie, it actually makes more sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
she's doing a monologue and everyone believes her. Like, that could have worked in this movie.
This one,
Yeah,
yeah. Instead of
like,
everybody just attacking her
yes,
for
it was to me, that was one of the worst scenes in the film.
scenes. Because it made you feel like everybody was in on it or something, the way they were reacting.
Right. And just like bum rushing her. And it just wasn't even believable, to be honest. Like people would be sitting in their seats going, like, what the fuck is that girl doing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Where
yeah,
is she looking at?
exactly. So it just, yeah, it seemed really weird. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But I'm gonna say Scary Movie did this scene better. I mean, this movie still was kind of campy. It had funny parts in it. I mean, I guess not
I do
around
have
it
to
death.
say, Freddie Prinze Jr. is a terrible actor at
Oh
this.
yeah, he is not good in
He's
this
so
one at
bad.
all. Yeah, he's real bad
Those
in
like
it.
pointed looks that he does.
Oh yeah. I was calling him as the worst. The worst thing about this was Freddie
The
Prinze Jr. because
worst.
he's the worst. So I guess we're just gonna get into it now.
Yeah.
Just to start from the beginning, I just want to point out the Summer Breeze rendition that
Makes me feel
but it's like
fine.
it's by that like type negative O. It's like one of
Or
those
like 5 finger death punch.
like yeah, like one of those generic like a little more 90s like the grunge goth rock, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely one of those.
I liked it.
It's
I
not a
was here
terrible
for it.
soundtrack. Like I do like that kind of stuff, but watching it in this, I'm like
I mean, I do remember, I'm pretty sure I enjoyed the soundtrack even back in the day.
exactly, yeah.
The soundtrack's sort of my
But
jam.
everyone just kind of sounds like Danzig a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like they're all trying to be Danzig if they're not already.
If they're not already. Mother. Like we all want to sound like that one Danzig song.
Yeah. And so this is where the drunk young guy, the Fisher guy, I don't have any recollection of this guy at all. And that's why when I thought back to this movie all the time, and I guess even the last time I watched it, I didn't like see the very beginning part, I guess, with like him. So this time I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, so is that the guy that they hit?
No, that's the guy that they hit killed that guy
Yeah,
because
but you know
he
what I mean though. I'm just saying
oh
they're
yeah,
setting
when you
me
first
up
start watching it.
though to
Okay. Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah, to where
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Like never saw that at all. So like I never even knew that setup. Like so I thought that
I mean,
was
I already
funny.
forgot about it.
Exactly. And this is why I think when I was thinking back that I didn't like it, because I think it is a little convoluted the way they go around trying to explain the plot. It
Mm-hmm.
makes perfect sense, like in okay, this drunk guy killed this young girl, and everyone hates the drunk guy for obvious reasons. And then the dead girl's dad enacts his revenge. And then
Mm-hmm.
they happen to hit that guy as he's, I guess,
And he's like, well,
murdering this
fuck
other
you.
guy. Yeah. And then they're going to
I'm
try
gonna
to get,
exact my
and I guess the way he's looking at it is kind of like, yeah, like, okay, like not only did this asshole like kill my daughter, and now you like try to run me over when I'm killing this asshole.
revenge. Because he's like teenagers partying all the time, drinking and driving.
But also just the trajectory of this man's life, not in that he was almost dead, in that he just really did decide that he's like, I'm gonna fuck with these kids. Like in the sense of like when he's chasing Sarah Michelle Gellar and he hides himself under plastic. Like
right.
like
and almost can't get out of it.
he is fucking committed.
He's committed. He's like, I'm gonna terrify the shit out of this girl.
So it does start out.
I was almost expecting to see her sister under one, to be honest.
I know, like very House of Wax. We meet the gang at some kind of like towny beauty pageant. And do they ever actually tell us where this is located? Because in some of the facts I read about, they said they wanted to give it like a Jaws vibe of like the community. So it does have like that New England kind of feel to it.
Well,
but one of the boats
said North Carolina.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. It's supposed to be the Carolinas, but it feels still it looks very West Coast, right?
It does feel a little like Maine.
Maybe.
But
yeah, it's like
what do I know?
Yeah,
I've never been into either of those places.
So I can't quite place it. Yeah, so it just seems like a weird mashup for sure.
I'm going to say North Carolina since the boat said that.
Sure, why not? That's the same thing I noticed too. So that was when I was like, I guess it's North Carolina. So that's our introduction. They are a gang of friends. They're kind of spilling the tea pretty quickly of like, this is this couple, that's that couple. Jennifer Love Hewitt is gonna be a lawyer.
Right. And I'm like, typical kid dreams.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar is gonna move to New York City and become a famous actress.
A real actress.
And Ryan Felipe is a star quarterback. So of course he's gonna play for the Dallas Cowboys.
What was Freddie gonna do? What was he supposed to be?
Yeah, what was he supposed to be?
He was going to go to New York, but nobody said why.
No, they just said he was going to tag along.
Oh, because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, because I literally feel like he is such like, I'm like, why was this character even written in the movie?
Because everybody needs a Ross. Because he's a Ross if I've ever seen one.
And then you also get a little Galecki.
Yes. I was like, David, what are you doing here?
And you get his character's name is Max. So you just basically this little cast of teenagers. There's a little animosity between Max and the gang. But then also they are kind of like a little bit of a dick to Freddie Prinze as well. Later.
Because he's poor.
Yeah, he's poor, basically. You do get that implied.
He's a poor fisherman.
He's a poor fisherman's kid. Or he has like no family or whatever because he's driving, they hit the guy, and that's when they're all freaking out. And you find out, oh yeah, he's like, I don't have a good family like you guys. I'm gonna be fucked.
They're gonna throw the book at me. And I'm like, I mean, if he really wasn't drinking, they're like, it doesn't matter. There's liquor all over the car. You can take a breathalyzer.
Well, exactly. You have to do that now while it's still fresh so you can prove you weren't drunk. Because otherwise, if it's way after the fact, they have no.
They're gonna be like, obviously,
exactly.
You were drunk or you wouldn't have waited.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'd be like, I ain't a fucking person. I don't think I could just drive away.
I have no idea what I would do. I think I would just be in shock. Like, I think people just find me probably still there. Like, just like behind the wheel, like just like still holding the wheel, like looking like
you're like, I had fight or flight.
Or freeze. I chose freeze. Like, I think like if something like that, because like I'm not in danger. Like I just like hurt somebody. So it'd probably be more of just a stunt.
I don't know
like,
what to do.
I'm gonna disassociate now.
And then you wake up like 8 hours later, like, what happened?
It's like or I would just be like, well, throwing them off the cliff. And that's why
I was like, why didn't they throw him off the cliff?
I never understood why wouldn't you have thrown him off the cliff?
His DNA all in your trunk of your car?
Yes, exactly.
And you're gonna roll him off the docks where people go every fucking day to fish?
And they're like, oh, the currents. And I'm like, well, let the current bash his body against the cliff.
Yeah. And that way, you know what? He'll probably be guaranteed to be dead if you toss him off the cliff.
Absolutely.
You pack him in your trunk like a Kevin Time to wake
He
up.
can't Camp Crystal Lake this shit if it's at the side of a cliff.
Exactly. And like that was a legit cliff. I guess they're afraid that maybe he wouldn't hit the water, but the tide would come in
That's why you could
eventually.
do a good heave ho, like you have that
Yeah.
one guy holding the front, one guy holding the thing, and you do the swing and you throw them over.
Yeah, exactly. Like a sack of potatoes.
Exactly. Like, I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's
You might
how.
as well go for it.
Well, like you said, especially like what, just don't bring him in your car. You already have the evidence in the front that's bad enough, like
And they never tried to explain that away. Like
no,
nobody ever asked about your wrecked car.
nope, not even
And
little.
there's a guide missing.
And that Galecki even saw that the car had been
Yeah,
hit and was just like,
right.
oh,
You
daddy's
think
gonna
he
be
would put two and two
mad.
together?
Nope.
Daddy's gonna be mad. I don't even know why I guess they just had him in there so they could do a kill scene.
Yeah. Cause I was like, and then also too, because like the killer, I'm like, okay, so I get that the killer is seeking revenge against, essentially he was supposed to be almost kind of like anti-hero. He was killing the guy that killed his daughter, basically. So it's not like he
Right.
was like a serial killer or had some kind of bloodlust. Like he literally, it was revenge. And then these kids help him hit him.
They did not help
They did
him.
not help him. These kids hit him and then did not help him. So, okay. I mean, he already is obviously a revenge kind of guy.
He's like,
Like,
well, I'm still on the vigilante.
totally makes sense. But then you bring in Galecki, and then to me, that kind of just like null and voids everything about the killer. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
now he's just a regular everyday serial
And
killer because
why they don't like it's not
yeah, why did they kill him? He didn't had anything to do with anything.
exactly. And like you literally just want to what because he was there that night and didn't fucking know that a dead body was hiding behind the guardrail. Like
Right, like he knew
that's what I'm
that
saying. Like
he was just driving
there's
by.
literally no reason to kill him. Like none
He was like, well, you're a
whatsoever.
fucking teenager.
Yeah, like what the
All
fuck?
teenagers must die, except for my daughter, but she's already dead. So,
Well, and he was like another fisherman.
yeah,
And
right.
that's where this also doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to bring this shit up because this is what also did bother me. I mean, here we were talking about how we're like, it wasn't that bad. But then I'm like, listen to
I
this
know. Like,
bullshit.
actually, listen to this shit.
So that's what I'm saying is like, yeah, Galecki was another fisherman and this guy was a fisherman. But then so is Freddie Prinze. And they're giving you a red herring through the movie. It is poorly
Mm-hmm.
done. This is one of the worst red herrings I think that like I've seen in a long time with the Billy Blue or whatever.
Yeah.
It's stupid and the red herring itself doesn't even really work for the most part right at the end because when she's getting scared of Freddie Prinze Jr. and realizes he's Billy Blue or whatever, the cat's already out of the bag of who the real fucking killer is. So
Right.
why are you afraid of him? You know he's
I
not the
guess
killer. Like it was just him probably going to visit the dead guy's sister
I
because he
guess
felt
maybe she thinks
bad.
he's in on it or
I maybe, but either
he's
way,
also a killer.
no, that's ridiculous because I'm like, if you ever felt that way about anybody, you wouldn't be fucking letting them ravage you a year later.
Right. Right. If you really thought that they could
Be capable of that? Like,
be
yeah.
capable of that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
And he was being super creepy. Just come on the boat, Julie, and we can talk about it.
I know, like, it's like vampire shit. You have to like invite me on board. Like,
The opposite
like,
way.
yeah.
You have to invite me in your house.
Just get in the boat. Like, why can't he get out of the boat? Like,
He wasn't even in the boat, though, is my thing. That's what made me so creepy. Like they're trying to make it sound like he was trying to kidnap her.
oh man. And then on the other side of the fence, we have Ryan Philippe's character and Sarah Michelle Gellar. And I like Sarah Michelle Gellar's character in this one, actually. When I was watching it this time around, I liked her character better than everyone else's.
And she had a tough break, man. Like she really tried. I mean, she had a job. I mean,
Yeah, like she was doing shit and everything. Like she even said she was like,
like
"Oh,
she
I
went to New
went, it
York,
didn't work out." Like, and she just seems so
but she
sweet.
wasn't bitter about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
her sister is such a fucking cunt. Like,
I
oh my
know.
God. I was happy
I was
when they
glad
killed
she got
her.
it.
I know. I was like, good. I'm like, that's why the producers wanted more blood.
I know. And I was like, bitch, you act like you're so better than her. You live with your parents too, and you're way older.
Exactly. I'm like, you're running mommy and daddy's store. How are you any fucking better? And you still live
And
in the
you
same
live with
house
them.
and you're way
Yeah.
older. Exactly.
Yeah. So how are
And
you?
like,
I'm pathetic
yeah.
because I have long hair.
I know, we're so fucked. Like, but
Go
I
fuck
I thought
yourself.
her character was so sweet and thoughtful, and like even when she's like supposed to be a bitch, she's really not, like
No, I don't remember her being a bitch to
no,
anybody.
no, exactly. Like I oh no, no, it was really that was really more of Galecki and Ryan Philippe's character Barry or whatever being an asshole to him. But yeah, she was just
Mm-hmm.
like in the background or whatever with J.Love. So yeah, she was a cool character. I liked her. Her the running scene with her is the best scene in the film in my opinion. Um it's built up nicely. Her full like just I think it's a good scene and I think she did it well. I actually
Mm-hmm.
liked it better than the final running scene with Jennifer Love Hewitt. I just think it was done better.
Yeah, and I think she's probably the best actor there.
I agree. Yeah, I think she
Yeah,
is.
out of
Yeah, she's the
everybody, I think she
strongest
was the
one.
best.
Hmm.
Yeah. Brian Felipe. Are you saying his
Yeah,
name?
yeah. Flip,
Felipe.
Felipe.
Felipe. He's a close second because he plays an asshole so
He
well,
really
man.
does. No, he did do a good job with that. And you can see why they had the good chemistry when they were doing Cruel Intentions later together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Faux show. And he is beautiful in this movie, dear God.
I just that they're all such baby face to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But he's
like
a beautiful little boy.
he has his perfect little like his hair and like yeah, it's so funny
Yeah,
to
his
think
little
back to him.
lips and
Yeah.
yep.
I'm like, oh, little baby Felipe.
I looked him up and I was like, damn, he's aged well too.
Yeah, he looks yeah, like now that he doesn't look like a little boy, he
Right.
manned up very nicely.
He manned up very
Well, even when
nicely.
he was like an adult, like well into his 20s, like he was still doing like, some movies throughout. He's still like baby face for a very long time.
Right. Yeah, he's finally starting to look like a grown up.
Yeah, he did a good job. And then I want to know because they do show kind of everyone after the fact because like I said, yeah, he played an asshole. He's the first to be like, we're covering this shit up. Like, I'm gonna bully you all and threaten you and scare you because I assume he is the
Hmm.
richest of them. Um, so I almost got vibes of if it was North Carolina, if it was like that crazy family where the guy like kills his whole family for the money and he was into drugs and
Oh,
all
and
that.
Murdoch.
Yeah, the Murdochs. I was like, oh shit, is he that family? Like that's the
Maybe.
vibe they were giving.
That's what happens when you got money, apparently.
So yeah, and
People
then
go
they
crazy.
cover it up, like I said, poorly dispose of the body, like in the little fucking area, and they try to move on with their lives. We've already discussed that it doesn't work out for obviously Sarah Michelle Gellar. Freddie Prince does end up just working on the boats.
Which
Jennifer,
is hilarious that they come up to him and they're like, oh, he grew up to be a fisherman. And he's like, oh, shucks. I'm like, it's been a year. Like, what he grew up to be a fisherman? It's been a year. It's been like 10 months.
but you know how it is when you
It's
first get
like
out of
just a
high school,
summer.
you're like, oh my God, it's been forever.
You're like, you're not somebody yet. It's been nine
You're
months.
only 19.
Right.
I know. And so and I'm wondering, did Barry's character join the military? Because the only thing we get is when he's in the gym and he's wearing dog tags.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I noticed he's wearing dog tags. So I was like, was that a fashion choice for back then?
Oh, I think it
Or
was
did he join the
actually.
military?
But I don't know because they still called him like college quarterback or something, didn't they?
Oh, did they? I don't know.
I think I have it in my notes that they called him that.
I just know they said star quarterback, I thought. But I just
Oh.
thought that was still like they were
Oh
obsessed
yeah,
with
he
his
said
high
call the
school.
cops. Oh, that's he said call the cops on your college quarterback ass. I had to write that down. It was so funny to
Uh,
me.
oh, there was one funny line I wrote down. Oh, when they were we need to mention, I guess, too, that it also had started out with them telling their own variations of the Hook urban legend. And which also made me think of we should watch Urban Legend sometime because I really
Mm,
loved that one when I was like in middle
I
school too.
totally forgot about that
No,
movie
yeah.
until they were talking about the Hook, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Urban Legend.
I
Oh
know exactly. I was like, I feel like this
yeah,
was like trying to set up that movie. But
right."
when they're like hooking up, haha, pun intended, on the beach.
Did
And
it?
then he's chasing her and he's like, I'm gonna
He's like,
hook
"I'm gonna hook."
you. And all I could think
I
was
was saving that part because I was going to say that was my favorite part.
I think that's gonna be the
Like the
name
way he said
that's gonna
it
be the name of the
too.
episode. For
I'm gonna hook
sure. I'm
you.
gonna hook you. Because I immediately thought like I'm like, is he a pimp?
Is he a what?
A
Oh,
pimp?
Pam.
Like he's gonna
I'm gonna hook you,
I'm gonna
bitch.
hook you out. I'm gonna hook you out. Oh my god.
But no, he's running with his finger like a little hook too.
I'm gonna hook you. So yeah, that was the one I had written down where I was like, oh my god, that's the name of the episode. I know what you did last
I'm
summer.
gonna
I'm
hook
gonna
you.
hook
I'm
you.
gonna hook you. It
Oh.
was foreshadowing the whole movie.
Oh, anyway, back to Barry's character. Either way, so he's wearing dog tags, not in the military, weird. And then when
It was a fashion
the killer's
statement.
chasing him and he starts running in the serpentine.
Serpentine, serpentine.
Oh, so I thought
That's
that
the
was
one time it
funny.
doesn't work.
Yep. Yeah, so like I said, we were getting examples of him fucking with them. He chases Barry, he cuts all of Sarah Michelle Gellar's hair off, he kills Max just to fucking shove his body in a trunk
Just
with some crabs.
yeah, that's exactly what it was. Just because he wanted that to think she was
I know,
crazy,
and
I
then
guess.
and I'm just like, who's the real
And
fucking monster here?
right. And how did you get all of that shit out of that trunk that quickly?
Right? I know. I'm like, is he Mr.
Houdini.
Clean too? He's got a hook on one hand and a magic eraser on the other.
He's like, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Oh man.
Ew, but that totally gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like she could hear it rattling in her trunk.
Yeah, see, that would have been creepy. I just wish they really would have set it up like in a different kind of, I don't
Oh
know, the
shit, we got
pacing, I guess maybe. Yeah, I just wish they would have paced it a little differently. Like made it feel like there's a little more anticipation when it needed to, like have it.
because it's like everything happened like the last 30 minutes, pretty much.
Yeah, because like I said, a big chunk of the movie was the red herring wild goose chase with Billy Blue
Billy Blue,
and then
baby Billy.
it wasn't even as like interesting as like they could just extend the other parts, the scarier parts, and cut this
Right.
fluff out. Like stupid.
They wanted to show you Anne Hesh.
Oh my God. And then like first you lie to this girl and then you ask questions and then you come back later and like there's never a battle plan. We're like, we're just gonna bother this weird lady in the woods. It's all gonna work out
Right.
fine. And like
And for like no reason, really.
and then to be like, I killed your brother. And then she's like, no, like this is what happened. Um, so then either way though, too, see that kind of jumbles up also with the actual killer too. So I'm like, was it the killer who left the note then? Or did he really have intentions of killing himself? And then that guy just was like, oh, well, I was going to kill you before you kill yourself. Like, what? What was going on here?
I think he was probably going to do it anyway because he was staring at her picture where she died on the anniversary of she
And then
died with a
holding
bottle.
the little locket thingy. And yeah, and then
Yeah, right, right.
which explains why he was all cut up
Maybe he just came
later.
up and shoved him off.
Well, no, because when they show the person found in the lake, it is the kid. but he
Oh,
has
I didn't
cuts all
remember them
over
showing
him.
it, I
And it was,
guess.
yeah, like they showed a face and it was a face and it was all cut up. So it was because
Are you sure that wasn't what are you thinking about the main
no,
guy?
no, I'm not.
Oh.
No, because that guy is an old guy and you see him, he doesn't have a ton of cuts on his face like when they show him again later. Or they're
Oh,
just really bad
okay.
with the
I must have
continuity
missed
of their
that.
own film, which, as we've already
Well,
heard,
it's been
they
it was
were.
10 weeks.
They filmed a whole scene just to explain a sweater change.
Yeah. Built a set for it and everything.
Oh man. But so yeah, they do lead it all up to, though, basically he fucks with them and then he picks them off one by one. Like I said, my personal favorite scene is the running scene with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Because they do bring up beforehand when she's in the parade, I feel like there's a very I Am Spartacus scene with all of the fishermen. Like there's so
Right,
many people
right.
in slickers, like in the middle of fucking July.
July and at a
Yeah,
parade. I'm
I'm
like,
sure they'd be
okay,
wearing that. Yeah.
right. That's just a thing that fishermen do. You wouldn't understand.
I thought that was kind of silly.
You're not a fisherman.
But they were right to call out earlier that nothing really happens to Freddie Prinze Jr. And that's another reason
Right.
with the red herring, but they still never actually explain it, though. You know what I mean? Like, or they could have at
Mm-hmm.
least showed the audience that, oh, hey, he has fucked with Freddie Prinze, but Freddie Prinze just didn't tell them because it was real fucked up or something. You know what I mean? Like
Right. It was
something.
too fucked up to
Like,
say anything.
yeah, like, I don't know,
He's got a
something.
baby dick.
It's, it's like another scary movie reference.
Scary movie. Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though. Yeah, something like, oh, he's like, oh, I got a letter. And like that's all, like so I said, his
No.
character felt so throwaway for them to literally spend a good chunk of the movie trying to make you think it's his character.
Yeah. And he was really not there for anything either.
Yeah, like it didn't even feel like he was a part of the cast.
Right.
Up
He was
until
eye
the end,
candy.
which, as I said, not as a good of a chase scene, in my opinion. Her running and yeah, in a
Mm-mm.
fucking boat. I was like, this was a bad idea.
Right. Like trapping herself in ice with dead bodies. Like, yeah.
She's like, I
That
gotta
was
get out of here somewhere. And then she enters the labyrinth.
right. I was like, on that tiny little fishing boat. There was that much shit.
I know somehow it's gigantic.
That's gigantic.
Oh man.
That I was like, is that how fishing boats work? They really keep like all that ice
Uh
downstairs?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, they have like different
That's
setups and then they have to put all the
crazy.
fish in there and stuff.
I know. I guess I never thought about it.
Didn't you ever watch like Deadliest Catch and stuff?
No,
Oh, well, you should go watch an
I did
episode.
not. I guess I'll
It's
have to now.
very enlightening.
See if there's a little downstairs of ice.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're like, I mean, it's like fancier, but
Crazy.
yeah.
I guess I just thought they had a giant cooler. I don't know.
Like, yeah, like walk-ins.
I guess.
I guess that'd be pretty expensive to run on a boat. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
I just thought ice would melt too fast, but we live in Florida, so
Yeah.
ice melts
I don't
faster
know.
in the winter.
Well, if you're in the middle of the water, though, I guess the water would
Yeah,
be
and that
cooler.
part is in the water, so
Yeah.
that would make sense.
There we
Learn
go.
something every day.
That's my guess. Don't quote me.
I'm quoting.
Stephanie told me.
Stephanie said
And as we mentioned, the very cheesy ending of him busting
Ends on a
out.
jump scare.
Yep, on the jump scare. And then that's it. It ends with hush, hush.
Call my name now. Hush, hush.
Would you watch it again?
Oh, of course. It's classic.
Yeah, I'd watch it. Like I said, this has been twice in a couple of years. So I'll be good for probably like another 5 to 10.
Yeah, but I could see myself going on like I'll watch all of the I Know You Did Last Summers because I think they came out with another new one.
I think it's a show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different.
I don't know if it needs to be a full show, but okay.
Oh, well,
Fancy ways.
that was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I know she did last summer. You ran over a guy. Did a little hit and
It was
run.
me.
Oh shit.
Now I'm here to get you. I'm gonna hook you.
I'm gonna hook you.
Oh my God, they need to do like the Gulf Coast edition of I Know What You Did Last Summer. And everyone talks like that.
I'm gonna hook you.
I'm gonna hook
son.
you. Oh.
Oh.
Next episode, catch us for Final Girls to end out Summer Slashers. And stay tuned for our August picks for Leo season. Lear, I want to say Lear. Leonardo DiCaprio movies. And as always, you can find us at Film Gazers on Instagram, on Facebook, at Discord. You can join our Film Gazers podcast community. You can find the link to that on our X accounts that we never update because
I don't even know how to get on there.
no, I'm not. We've just decided we're not X people, but the Discord link's there if you are and you at least want to find us there. We're more Instagrammers.
We're a millennial.
Yeah. Heavily so.
Sorry about it. Sorry about it.
But Jessica has been updating. She's been making some audiograms. She's been killing it. It's been inspiring me to also try to balance my shit out a little better so I can at least, implement, like, I can make 1 or 2 a week. That shouldn't be a fucking hassle.
It depends on the week.
Yeah, but I'll do my best. And I know Justice too.
That's all you can ask.
So, time to hit the dusted trail.
Until next time.
Later taters. That one was pretty good.